Crossroads by Retlaw. Chapter 1. Salem's Fire. The year was 1692. Salem was a town that stank of fear of neighbors, of whispers, of shadows stretching too long in the lamplight. It was a place where rumor carried more weight than truth, and truth, once stained, could never be washed clean. Athena lived on the edge of town, a farm girl with soft eyes and hands roughened from milking cows and cutting hay. She spoke little, always reserved, her kindness quiet and steady. But the quiet drew suspicion, and her kindness was mistaken for something darker. Her father had once lain at death's door, his chest shallow, his lips blue. And yet, he lived. None could explain it. Athena had prayed, yes, but in the eyes of Salem, prayer was not enough to explain a miracle. "She's unnatural," muttered the villagers at the well. She touched his hand, and he rose from his bed. "Mark me, she's consorting with the devil." Rumors festered into certainty, certainty festered into rage, and rage demanded blood. The trial was not truly a trial. It was an execution dressed in scripture. The men spat witch with every breath, the women pulled their children close when she walked by, and even the priest's gaze grew colder with each passing day. On the night the mob came, torches in hand, Athena fled. The woods swallowed her in their endless black. Branches whipped her face, roots clawed at her shoes. Behind her the mob's shouts grew louder, a storm of righteous hatred, and then came the whisper, "Athena." She froze mid-step, her breath fogging in the cold night. Her heart hammered against her ribs. "Athena." The voice was velvet soft, curling into her ear like smoke. She spun, but the woods were empty. "What? Who's there?" she cried, voice breaking. The answer came not from one place, but from everywhere. "They accuse you of being what you are not. They will hang you, drown you, burn you, and yet I can save you." Her throat closed with grief. "But I'm not a witch." "No," the voice purred, "but I can give you what they already fear, power beyond their imagining. Your soul will be mine, yes, but you will live. You will never wither, never rot. You will become the storm they see in you now." Her father's face flashed in her mind. The simple life she loved, the fields at dawn, the smell of milk and hay, all of it slipping away like smoke. "Yes," she whispered. The forest hushed, as though the world itself held its breath. Shadows gathered at the crossroads before her, shaping into a figure. Horns curled from his brow, his eyes molten gold, his grin sharp enough to cut glass. He pressed a claw to her chest. The pain was unbearable, like fire, like her ribs cracking open, like her heart being branded from within. She staggered back, shrieking as green light shot through her veins. Her body began to rise. Slowly, shakily, her feet left the ground. Dust curled upward in spirals. Leaves tore from branches and whirled around her. Trees groaned, bending away as if in fear. Her head tilted back, her glowing eyes fixed on the sky. She gasped for air, her chest heaving as though she were drowning in flame. The stars above blurred, swallowed by the storm of her awakening. Then the power burst outward. A shockwave rippled from her body, flattening grass, splintering branches, sending the mob at the forest's edge staggering. A scream ripped from her throat, raw and guttural, not human but something deeper. It clawed up from her bones, shaking the night. Villagers clamped their hands over their ears, yet still the cry rattled their teeth and filled their hearts with dread. When at last she descended, her feet touched earth with the weight of something changed. Her hair floated as if underwater, her skin shimmered with faint green fire, and her eyes were no longer eyes at all, but blazing emeralds of grief and rage. She stumbled toward the village. The torchlight flickered against her aura, shrinking in her presence. "You call me a witch," she said, her voice doubled with the demon's echo. "So be it." She raised her hand. The first man, one who had spit at her father in the square, ignited. Flesh and bone turned to ash before he could scream. The mob broke. Torches fell. Some fled into the fields. Others dropped to their knees, choking out prayers. "Burn them all," the demon's voice urged inside her. "Every last one, even the children who mocked your name." Her gaze caught on a boy clutching his mother's skirts. his wide eyes glistening with terror. Her hand trembled. The power surged, aching to be loosed. She bit down a sob and ripped her arm away. I refuse, she whispered hoarsely, tears streaking her cheeks. No, not the children. The demon chuckled darkly within her. So much power, yet still chained by weakness. No matter. In time, even you will break. Athena turned from the trembling child. Her grief became fire, pouring from her hands into the mob of men and women who had called for her death. Screams shattered the night as Salem began to burn. The blaze grew wild and unrelenting. Thatched roofs burst into flame, smoke curled high into the heavens, and the night sky itself glowed red, as though dawn had come too soon. Villagers scattered in every direction, their cries drowned out by the roar of fire. Athena stood at the center of it all, her arms raised as torrents of emerald fire poured from her, consuming everything. Her sobs mingled with her screams, her sorrow indistinguishable from her wrath. And through it all, behind the roar of burning wood and the shrieks of the dying, the demon laughed, deep and booming, a sound that rolled across the flames like thunder. It was not the laughter of triumph alone. It was delight, pure, unrestrained joy at the storm he had unleashed through her. Salem burned, and the night sky bore witness. And Athena wept,